Welcome to Master Wrench Industries. Today we're working on a 1999 Ford F350. It has a rusted brake line. It is a salt spreader truck, so it sees some action in the rust department. So let's get down in here and let's get ready to try to break this brake line loose. Coming in. I'm coming in. Oh. Hello. What we got here is a rusty, crusty brake line. It's leaking right here. You can tell. So I gotta get this broke loose, and then that one broke loose, and hopefully I don't have to rebuild the whole brake system getting this thing apart, because after I get the brake line broke loose and a new one installed, I still have to break the bleeders on the calipers, which those are always a toss-up on if it's actually going to break loose or not. So let's get started here. I'm going to try a little heat on this little union junction here. Can't put too much because this rubber line and this vent line here for the rear end. So let's get started. Fire in the hole. It's usually better to use an actual torch, but an actual torch will get this actually too hot and melt the brake line. I really don't want to replace that brake line, because then you're up into there and then you may have to replace the whole brake line. This is going to really be a challenge, but we're going to make it happen. Smoke, that's a plus. Playing. Let's see what happens here. That ain't the right size. Let's try this one. Oh yeah, let's make it. Nuts get smaller and smaller. Just flaking away. Okay. I gotta go get a different wrench. I might as well just grab the vice grips while I'm at it. And we're back. So, what I'm gonna do is cut this brake line and put a socket on the fitting right here, instead of fiddling around with trying to get a wrench to go on it. So I'm just gonna cut this, which is probably a drain pan over here. Alrighty, let's cut the son of a gun. Cut it short. Oh, look at that. Boom, cut. Now we kind of need to save the bend of this brake line so we know how to, I mean, pretty self-explanatory, but it'll help on the bending of the new one. See if I can break this one loose. Oh yeah. Okay, that clamp is gone. Oh man, this brake line has seen better days. Okay, that one's free. Now, Let's see if we can get lucky, beat a smaller socket on this. So we'll figure it. We'll give her a whirl. This is the only way this is coming off. Maybe just let's try the old 10 millimeter. That is a 10. Let's try an 11. 11. Let's try a 766. Okay, let's just try it. It's probably gonna round. I'm ready for it. Okay, I need to get a. Well, no, it's gonna fit right in there. That's perfect. See what happens. Say a little prayer. Oh, look at that. We are in the money on this side. That's a little pro tip for you on rusty brake lines. Just cut them and put a socket on there. That is phenomenal. So, I'm gonna get this. Well, yeah, I need to get that out of my socket. Now I'll do the same thing over here. Alrighty. Now let's see if we can get this side broke loose. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna heat it a little bit.
Why do they doubt the kid? I'm about to prove them all wrong again. I got a low tolerance, cause they don't even know what the problem is. It's me. You waiting on the boy to fail, then hold your breath and face your death.
Usually once you start seeing the little smoke, that's when you're good enough. Hit this with a double whammy of WD-40. Oh yeah, look at that. That's perfect temp. A little WD-40 backed with a little bit of PB Blaster. It is the perfect concoction. Now, what we'll do is we'll cut the line like we did on the other side, like so. Cut the line. Okay. Let's cut this zip tie, get it out of the way completely. Okay. You save that bend for later. Okay, now come in here with your socket. Okay, perfect. And then come in with your 16 millimeter backup wrench, and then you say a little prayer. And you turn her to the left. To the left, to the left. Oh, look at that. That is wonderful. So half this battle is over. The next half of this battle is going to be the bleeder screws, which I'm pretty confident I can get them out. There's only one way to find out if it's going to work or not. Because sometimes on these rust buckets, the bleeder screws are impossible to get out. Oh, coming at me. That's hot. That's hot, that's hot. Not that hot. I didn't even feel it. We get these broke loose, it's a glorious day. I don't know if I get this out. I'm going to just put new ones in it. WD-40. Well, we could have got a little hotter, honestly. PB Blaster. 10 millimeter socket and a hammer. Now, say a little prayer and cross fingers, and we're golden pony boy. Okay, let's see here, and we're free. Bleeder looks pretty darn good, but we are most likely going to put a new one in it. Now let's move to the other side. Alrighty, we are 3 for 4. Let's see if we can keep this streak going. One more bleeder to break loose. Oh, that was nice. This actually looks pretty darn good to me. I'm glad it had that rubber on there. 10 mil. That's 10 mil. So now let's heat it, and then we'll do our magic combination concoction of spray. Slide this back a little bit. Fire in the hole. Of course, you guys are moving all around because you're on a piece of cardboard, but it is what it is. Good enough. Oh yeah, she's smoking. All right. Slide her drain pan back in. WD-40 first. Followed by PB Blaster. Followed by a 10 millimeter backed by a hammer. All right, come on. $10mm on. Grab the old ratchet and say a little prayer. And turn it to the left, to the left. I don't know why I keep saying that. Oh, guess what? We're in the money. That's 4 for 4. This one may sit here and drip all day. I'm going to get ready to head to O'Reilly's and get some brake line. And then I'll show you how I bend it. And we got to double flare it. So stay tuned. Alrighty, we're back from O'Reilly's. And sorry about the tornado siren. Got our new brake line here. Where I need to make it look like a dollar blade. Well, I only got double flare one in. So this is going to be a good time. I haven't done this in a while. This part's going to be the fun part. That bend right there is going to be fun. So, let's take our brake line bender. We need to go get a measurement. I'll set you back up in a second. And we're back. We need to get a measurement on our brake line here. Let's get the light turned on. This is this end. As of right now, okay, this is gonna suck. We're gonna have to probably guess. We're gonna have to guess. Okay, so we have an option of measuring from there to there with a tape measure. Okay, we get a tape measure. I'll get a tape measure. We're gonna measure from there to there just to give us one extra. It's not gonna be an accurate measurement, but it'll be a little extra insurance. I'll be right back. We're back with our super duper measuring device. This tape measure is probably as old as me. So we need to go. Can you look at that for me and tell me where I'm lined up on this driver's side? Okay, thanks. So let's see. It needs to be at least. That is a bad measurement. 34. I think this is not a good way to measure this. This is called eyeball measuring. Okay, from there, at least 34 and a half. So let's go cut this down to at least 34 and a half, and we'll double flare it. Alrighty, and we're back. Let's chop this bad boy down to where we think it's going to fit on there. It's been a while since I double flared something. Luckily, there are instructions with it. So now let's get one shot bits. We are definitely at the touch and go part of this project, which is the project's been that way. Touch and go. Touch and go. So cut it there. That makes into that flare needs to be. Let me go find that old flare. And we're back. Now, I really want this to be the right length. So I'm gonna try my darndest. Here it is, just a little bit of wiggle room. No turn back. Let's do a practice. What do you say? Don't want my mark rubbing off. Okay. Now, let's do a practice cut. Here's the cutter. I'll just try to show you a better picture of it. Okay, so this is not the best cutter in the world. And this is why I'm doing a practice cut too. Let's see. So, cinch this bad boy down. Does it not go down far enough? It surely goes down. Okay, there. Only cutter I got. So, and you cinch it down in the grooves, and then you just slowly start turning it and tightening periodically till you cut through. Which this cutter is not the best thing on earth. If I did this every day, I would definitely get a different one. Just keep going. Tightening. And going. Definitely want square. I used to have a nice one of these. Just keep going. In there. That's it. That's how you cut it. So now that we made our practice cut, let's make our final cut. That way, we got it resting on the tailgate so that weight of the tube itself isn't going to pull down while a mid-cut. Okay, we're cut. Now, let's see if I messed up. High possibility that I did. Nope, we're golden. We're good in the hood. Okay. So, the one thing that is forgot about every so often on these double flaring situations is you forget to put the fitting on there because you can't put it on once you double flare it. We'll get some sandpaper, clean that off a little bit around the edge, deburr it, and we'll go. We are going to do a practice run. Okay, we'll deburr it on the outside. Inside's deburred for practice one. Now, you got this clamp. So you stick your brake line in where it says 1/4 inch. Okay? This is called double flaring brake lines. Then you want it to stick out. See that stick out the thickness of your flare tool. Okay? Thickness of your flare tool. Now, can you see that? Then you take your flare tool and you eyeball it to this first flange here. See that? That first lip. We need to move it just a little bit. Let's get a check. See, that's too far, of course. That's still not right. That's still not right. That looks cool. That's money. Cinch it down. Start with the one closest to the brake line first. Make sure it's square in there. You just want this tight enough where it won't move when you're clamping it, or when you're not clamping it, but when you're pressing the flare in there. So now we're going to take this, we're going to jam it in here. Okay, feels good. We're going to take our, this is called the flaring yoke. Take your flaring yoke, bring it on here like so. Stick your flaring tool in the end of the brake line, then come over here and run her down into the flaring adapter. I got this flaring tool from Harbor Freight, imagine that. So let me bring it up a little bit. So rotation. I don't know about this kit, so that's what you got right there. Make sure it's square, where a square cut comes in handy. And let's go to town. You cinch this down till it's flat. Let me double check. Now we go to cinch down. Just go till your adapter is flush with the bar, this being the bar. It's flush with that. Okay, you're flush with that, then you back it off. Take this adapter out, and then run your tool back in. There we go. And we're gonna go till we get a 45. A little bit more, and we're done. Let's see. Oh, that's why we do test runs. That looked horrible. That's why we do test runs. Nothing harmed by doing a couple test runs. Okay. Now, that there. Now, try this again. This is flush. That's flush. Then okay. This one looks a lot better. Yes, that is a perfect double flare. I just cinched this down on that second step. When you take your flaring adapter out, then come back with the flaring tool. I went too much on the first one. So, I guess let's go for the real thing. What do you say? So, we're going to put her in a quarter spot, left our diameter. Keep tight. Keep tight. Now, deeper the inside. Just a little bit. Deburred. This is your deburring tool. Now, let's go for it. and 45. That's what you're shooting for. Check it. Let's go just a smidgen more. And we're gonna run it. Okay, all double flares. Yep. Should be good. Let's see if it'll bolt up. If not, we're gonna have to start over. So hang tight, we'll get back in there and see how we did. We're back under the truck. Got our brake line bent like a dog leg. And then we double flared it. Looks better than factory. Now we just gotta see if it's the right length. Yay. Here we go. Let's see. Say a little prayer. We're gonna need it. Okay, so this side. We'll get this side started. Can't really tell. That's not it. Hopefully I got the right fitting here. Our bend looks pretty darn good. Okay, this is not ideal. This is not an ideal situation. Uh-oh. This project may just take a turn for the worst. Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. It should be screwing in. Son of a gun. We may be making another trip to O'Reilly's. Maybe making another trip to O'Reilly's. And we're back. Dodged a bullet on this one. This little guy saved the day. For some reason, Ford decided to use 7/16 size fitting on the union for the brake line, and then 3/8 on the other. And of course, I took that one out. I was going to make sure, verify, match it up. But of course, I lost it somewhere between this truck, the shop, and my truck. Somewhere it's gone. So I'm running around here, cussing and carrying on. I was like, let's go to O'Reilly's. And then I saw that they have these adapters. So we're good in the hood. So, and that actually will help me with my length because I was a little bit short, but this will get me back where I need to be. So let's get it stabbed on there. I'm going to screw it on the fitting first. To the hose, fitting onto the hose first. Now, let me get my light. Oh, it's crazy how things work out. I would have caught this problem of different sizes if I wouldn't have lost one of the fittings. So now let's get this bad boy started again. I hate brake lines with a passion. They're so finicky. Easy to strip out. But you only look at this. I don't understand why they just didn't use hoses everywhere. Use a hydraulic hose. I'm just kidding. But I mean, if it was a hose, it would just be so much easier. But it's worked this way for how many years? Okay, so of course I had this started before I left to go back to O'Reilly's, and it was there. Just gotta hold your mouth right. I got it. Now this needs to go up and over there, and this needs to go down and in like so. Of course, the angle of the dangle is completely off. Which, if this thing wasn't so rusty, I could just take this mount loose, which you probably can't see it, take this little mount loose, rotate it, and we'd be golden. Which I could just go like this and bend it a little bit, maybe. Okay. Let's see here. And we're started. All right. Now, all we got to do is tighten her up. Looks like just about as good as factory to me. So it's great. I'm not gonna lie. Looks wonderful. There's 7/16. Okay. 7/16 feels a little loose. $11 millimeters a little loose. I know it ain't a 10. Not a 10. So 7/16 it is. Should be good. Now on this side, go with the half and a 16. Nope, 9/6 and a 16. There it is. That's a nice brake line. Which this adapter is what it is. I wish I didn't have to use one, but there wasn't even an option at O'Reilly's. I couldn't get 1/4 inch brake line, which the hoses are all 1/4 inch. I know that because I was looking those up. You couldn't get 3/16. Well, 3/16 line and 7/16 for this side, and you couldn't get 3/8 fitting for a 1/4 inch line. So it was, you were kind of just in a predicament. So let's cinch this down, and then we'll be ready to bleed the brakes. Which I really don't like this. I hate these things because they're so temperamental. You can easily strip them out. Okay, now, funny thing is, last week I was working on this customer's other truck, and we thought the rear end was leaking. It was late, it was cold, it was rainy. This was all rusty. The diff cover was rustier than it could be. I'm like, oh, it's the diff leaking. It's just, it's time. So, put a new differential cover on it. Then I left. Sealed it up, cleaned it, nice, left, and then he said it was still leaking. Well, come find out, he had his guys put an actual gasket on here. I used RTV, which should be fine. And he had them put a gasket on there, and it's still leaking. I'm like, well, the housing must be cracked because it's just sitting there dripping. No, it was the freaking brake line the whole time. So that was my bad. But we're good now. So we are good now. I'm going to tighten this bolt up. And they broke the bolt on this differential housing. Which all the brake lines on this rig are pretty rusty. This whole truck's rusty. They haul salt with it for snow removal and for treating roads, and it just tears everything up. I mean, but it is what it is. And we got this new brake line installed. So here in a minute, we'll bleed the brakes. Alrighty, we're back. We're gonna bleed these brakes and we're gonna be done with this. Okay, pump it up. Brakes are bled. Alrighty, we're all done with this 1999 Ford F350. Got the brake line made and installed and bled the brakes, and it's good to go for another snowstorm. But thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll wrench you later.